Morning, guys. How are you doing? I hope you're keeping well. I hope you're keeping great. MsPride here. Hi, guys. Tell me why I had bought myself a mic, but I keep forgetting it. I keep forgetting it at home. But anyway, I'm gonna remember next week. Okay. The reason I'm here today, I want to go over one thing that has been on my mind. If you don't see me, or if you don't see any things that make creators quit YouTube, some of the reasons that make creators quit YouTube, even when it seems like their channel is doing well, even when it seems like they worked so hard for it, it's monetized and all of that. But at some point, it gets to a point where they're like, and easy. And if maybe one of these good days or one of these bad days, you end up not seeing MsPride on YouTube, these might be some of the reasons that would make me consider quitting. Without rambling on, let me just get on to it. Number one is the spirit of people getting so familiar with you, or the spirit of people thinking that they know you, or the spirit of people now wanting to tell you what to do. Come on, guys. And because this is a kind of a rant, a creator's rant, it's going to be difficult for me to speak in English for the rest of the video, because, if something irritates you, you tend to gravitate to want to talk in your vernacular language. English, you can't speak in English when you're angry. It's like it doesn't go together. Anger, frustration, and English doesn't go. It's like at some point you just want to say to a person, "How young joyela pela wen? Hi wena, how young joyela?" And imagine I'm like, "You are used to me." Yo, guys. People get so familiar with you because you are posting content, you are on the internet, and now they feel like they know you. They feel like they've got you figured out. And remember, there was a video where I had alluded to the fact that any creator that is on the internet, or anyone that is on the internet, most likely than not, it's a persona that they take on to be able to be on the internet. You find that when you meet these creators in real life, they are not the people who you thought they are. Some of them are very shy. Some of them bapapile. Some of them you would think, hey, lo muntu ngiyamazi, Christian and this and this and this. Kanti ugela umuntu ophaphile nje, umuntu ozithandela vibe, umuntu othanda ubumnandi. So you cannot uthi umuntu uyamazi based on what they choose to portray. Remember, until a YouTube becomes I don't know, follow me for 24 hours kind of a vibe, or follow me for a full week, no editing kind of a situation, whatever a person puts out there, it's an edited version. It's an edited version of what they chose to put out there. So you can't say uyamazi lo muntu, uyamazi ukuthi uphila kanjani, you know their pockets, you know what they have or whatnot. You understand, there's little you can tell about a person from a video. Of course you can tell a little bit, but you can't tell you can't have the full picture based on watching umuntu nama video wakhe. You cannot know ukuthi ubuyaphi, ubani, what are their traumas, what are their preferences, unjani umese kwatile, and all of that. There's things you just cannot tell. So most creators end up quitting because bayajwayeleka man, yes, like la by YouTube, it's the ghetto. If you need to have the ghetto kind of vibe, or the ghetto. You need to bring out the ghetto girl in you sometimes to survive. Hey, ziyabuya ukilabona, because as much as you're gonna find people who are extra kind, people who are gonna support you, no matter which video you are putting out there, no matter the mistakes you're doing, no matter whether they don't agree with your life choices, or maybe how you live your life, there's people who are gonna choose to say, at the end of the day, this person is a human being, and I choose to respect her because they're a human being. And thank God for those people, because I think those people, and I think it's probably 80% of the people that you will attract. 80% of the people will be kind, supportive, and then ube nalaba. There's this people that you're gonna attract the moment you start getting famous, or the moment you start getting traction into your YouTube channel. Kunalaba bazoku-attack for who you are, for how you dress, for your style, for your home, your kids, where you take your kids, where you shop, where you eat. Hey, kunabantu abalimele la ngaphandle. There are people who have ispirit sokugxeka, and ngempela bayadinga. You need to pray if you have that kind of spirit, because it baffles me. I really don't understand why you would be so passionate about somebody's life to the point of telling them, Obuti, woo, shame, you are shopping at ShopRite, you're shopping at Boxer, you're shopping at Pick and Pay, and then you're on the internet. We thought you're making money. Why are you even on the internet? There's people who are gonna tell you, oh, you're driving this kind of car. Tina Sazabo Banbani, who are driving this and this and this. Oh, you stay in this kind of location. What are you even doing on the internet? You understand? So unfortunately, that's the price you're gonna have to pay for growth. So I don't know how I would take it. I mean, I get guys nyangala. I do kind of like get to a point of calculating things at some point, and when I feel something is becoming too stressful, there is an element of me yokungala, but at the same time I'm ngiyabegezela, and I can be strong if I need to be. So I don't know what I'm gonna do when that time comes, but I know people who have abandoned their YouTube channel because the level of ujwayeleka, and it's always that 1 or 2 people or 10 people who will make it. I mean, they are, I don't know, they are so much interested in everything you post out, you put out there, so that they can point out what you did wrong, what was wrong, what you were wearing, what your husband was doing, or bringing out receipts of previous videos and stuff like that. Ukujwayeleka, guys, akusiyinto emnandi. I don't know, akusiyinto emnandi being too familiar with a person and thinking uyamazi because umbona ka-YouTube. Aychabo, guys. Honestly speaking, I think this might seem like it's the same thing, but I don't think it's the same thing. The spirit of a person thinking that they know you, or they know who you are, or they know how you likely to maybe respond to situations, or to do at certain situations. Umuntu angeke umazi, guys, ngokumbukela ne. Umuntu angeke umazi. And I did also a video ukuthi cha umuntu angeke uzumazi based on ukuthi usebenza naye, ufunda naye, whatever, usesociety naye, whatever the case might be. Umuntu awumazi. Umuntu waziwa uNkulunkulu mostly. It's only God who knows a person, and maybe those her kids and her partner, they probably know that person maybe 85%, but even now they can't say they know you completely. And I've said this before. a person, just because a person, MsPride said, I'm a Christian. Now you want to tell me how to respond to you or to respond to people when they attack me or when people disrespect me. Now you want to tell me my limits. No, I need to, since you are a Christian, you cannot respond like this. You can. I said I'm a Christian. I'm trying to be like Christ, I'm being like Christ, but at the end of the day, I'm not Christ. At the end of the day, I'm a human. So in ndaba yokuthi you're gonna think ukuthi, no, it's so unlike you. It's out of character. Now, usufuna ukungidelela now, because all of a sudden now, when you have already measured ukuthi, okay, I can only get angry up to this far. I can only answer you up to this far. Angeke ngikuthuke, angeke ngikutshele indaba zakho. I'm not gonna come at you, because now you think you know me like that. So yeah, people think they know you. People thinking they know you. People think now, based on what they see, the kind of lifestyle you live, people now kind of measuring you and thinking now they know your pockets and probably thinking they know your bank account. All of those things are estimations, guys. It's plus minus kind of a thing. At the end of the day, you cannot tell fully ukuthi umuntu ubani based on ama video that they put out there. The third reason why some creators or most creators end up giving up is that the amount of work, the amount of effort, and the reward that you get, there's a mismatch. There's a mismatch, and we need to get to a world where creators are kind of paid, because it's a complete boost to the economy, or whatever the case might be, or the global economy, that there are people who are willing to create, and then advertisers are able to advertise on your channel. But at the end of the day, for at least 2 years or 3 years, unless when are you one of those lucky people, or I don't know, you do something right and your channel blows up immediately. I've seen people who said, I monetized my channel in 2 months. I've seen people who said I've monetized my channel in 3 months, which is extremely fast, and hard. But for the most of us, uzo volunteera yezwa, ujuluke ube manzi, uzo volunteera, uzovuka ekuseni, uzovuka ebusuku, u-edit video, ufuna music, ucheck video, you do all these things only to get nothing, only to get zero, or only to get 400 rands, or whatever it's called, maybe $40, you understand? So the amount of effort and the remuneration that you're gonna get, it's so unmatched. It's unbelievable, especially for small creators, for creators who are established, for those who started out and i-channel yabo yagcina ivukile, or laba who did it right from the beginning. Of course, the return of investment is way too high, because they could be doing the same amount of work that I'm doing, but the person is getting 14,000. You understand, from their videos, and I'm doing all of that, and I'm getting $40. You understand? So after a while, maybe the return of investment, but it's only a very few people who get to that level, who can say, oh wow, this is absolutely worth it. I get plus minus 14,000 from YouTube AdSense, so that can easily buy you a decent car, eh? That can easily pay for a decent kind of a house, right? So it's, for some people it has gotten to a point where it's worth it, but for the rest of us, you just ask yourself, couldn't I be investing my time on other things that would benefit me? Like right now, there's a short course that I'm doing, and today, because I slept very early, I was super tired yesterday. I woke up and I woke up at 3 because I think I slept at 8 a.m. yesterday. I woke up at 3, and guess what I did? The first thing I did was, let me edit a video. And in my mind, I'm like, man, what am I doing? I could have been taking my course. Of course, editing a video is much nicer than sitting in a class and trying to cram information at 3 a.m. in the morning. So yeah, I understand why the choice. You understand, and yeah, so it's very time consuming. It's very time consuming. I don't know if that's another point or it's still within the same point, but it's very time consuming. It will take up a lot of time, and you're not even gonna realize, hey, yabona lento le ingidlela isikhathi, shem, ingidlela isikhathi. The other reason I'm gonna forget about counting, because the last video I was rewatching my video and my counting was off, so I'm gonna forget about counting, so I'm not gonna count anymore. The other point, I'm just gonna say the other point is on top of your time being consumed by the actual process of creating, the actual process of editing, the actual process of doing all of this, you're gonna have to be a lifelong learner or a lifelong researcher, because YouTube is always changing. You remember, YouTube is owned by somebody or some other people. There's other people, I don't know, maybe an organization, could be wrong. I don't know, but there's owners of YouTube. So they change their rules, they change their guidelines. You constantly have to watch other creators, and specifically those who are putting information of what's happening in the YouTube space, so that you don't get caught by surprise, because the rules, the guidelines, the YouTube guidelines keep changing. You have to know them to begin with, in terms of what can be done, what cannot be done. Things like what kind of music can you get away with. For a person who isn't a YouTuber, they might easily say, "Ay, but music bora. Why don't they put music? Let's say Kabza the Small or Uzahara or somebody." But you can't just pick any song to put on your video. There's guidelines, there's certain music that you can use, and sometimes there's subscriptions, or maybe that you need to pay to even have that kind of music. Of course, there is music that is available for free, YouTube library, that you can use for free. But if you want some kind of vibe, some kind of nice, you have to end up paying. You understand? For that kind of music, there's things that you cannot do on the internet, like you cannot violate the YouTube rules or the YouTube guidelines. You cannot come on screen maybe undressed or indecent. You cannot show your kids indecent, or maybe you cannot be abusive to other people. You must mind your language. You must mind what you say to other people. You must mind the things you put out there. You cannot be misleading people. You cannot do false advertising. Like, you cannot create a thumbnail that says this video is about one thing, and then a person clicks on this video only to find that the video is about something else. You cannot put out information that is unfounded, or maybe you haven't researched properly, especially if it's medical information, financial information, or things like that. You just have to be careful. So there's guidelines, there's things that can get you in trouble with YouTube. And YouTube, remember, is an employer, and at the end of the day, YouTube, they can you can wake up one day and find out that your channel is demonetized. You can wake up one day and find out your channel has been completely deleted if the offense was very, very, very bad. Like if you're putting, I don't know, explicit content and stuff like that. Yeah. So there's rules. So there's things that you need to know. You need to know what are the monetization rules or requirements at that moment. You need to know how to apply for monetization. So all of that is going to take your time in terms of watching other people who are content creators in that regard, who put out information. This thing is not steady. Who put out information. So there's people who always update us in terms of what's happening in the YouTube space, what can be done, and who actually motivate us. Like the time where I wanted to quit, it took other creators who are like in that space of motivating small creators to say, yes, and guys, it's not as bad as it sounds. It's 8,000 monetization threshold or whatever that it's called. It's not as bad as it sounds. Yeah. So it's those kind of things. And the other thing is it's costly. It can be costly. Of course, you can get away with running a channel for free. You understand? You can you can absolutely run a channel and not pay a single cent for subscriptions. But if you get to a level where good, maybe an upgraded quality of content, good music, you're gonna have to pay subscriptions, and that is gonna take from your pockets. So you're gonna have to pay for things like Cap cards, maybe Canva and stuff like that. So yeah, there's a lot of subscriptions, about 11 apps. I know I had tried out voice of text to voice or something like that. So actually the 11 app can actually help you to clone your voice, so that you don't have to speak in every video. You can actually put a voice over that sounds like you, but it's actually a text to speech. So at the end of the day, all those subscriptions, plus the fact that imali ayikho, let's say you're gonna now be paying 800 rands, ne? You're paying 800 rands, and you only getting 1.2, which means your profit is 400 rands, not even counting the amount of time, unless you're paying 800 rands and then your profit, and you're getting paid, let's say 9,000 or 10,000. Then the return on investment kind of makes sense, because then your profit is like 8.2, so it kind of make financial sense. But at the end of the day, you also have to count the time that you would have invested, time that you could have been using to do other things. Yeah, so those are some of the reasons that people end up abandoning YouTube, end up abandoning their channels. So one thing I can say is that in the streets of YouTube, you have to be passionate about your craft, because for you to get to a stage where you are actually seeing results. Uzojuluka, ujuluke, and yeah. It's gonna take time for you to see a return on your investment. So it's not easy money. It's really not easy money. So those are some of the reasons why people end up abandoning their channels, why people end up deciding to not post anymore. But if I were to choose, I think one of the biggest one, ile yokujwayeleka. Yabona le yokujwayeleka. Nabantu abazo create ama account and now they are passionate to an extent ukuthi bayo create ama fake accounts ukuthi bazokuthuka, bazokutshela how much of a bad person you are, how much of a low ntontoni you are. That one is difficult to move around, especially if it gets to a stage where now people are making videos about your videos or are making videos about you or your life and criticizing your life, criticizing your children and stuff like that. Yeah. I think we've got a video for Friday, guys. Thank you. I'm at work. I'll see you next time. I'm gonna do a thumbnail and then I'll see you next time. Bye.
Abantu abanzima nombramo phela noma ujolako ipendulo nawe yazi uyayazi
hawa ulele bagilile mhlambe umuntu khangathi good night
amakhuwa ujolo usiyajola ipendulo uyazi
asima kuwo
kanti sobafundisa ithanda lwazolazi njani konzulu
abalazi lapho siseleni
ngoba silaba
yazi ikhuluma ngengizuleko ithini izola ngithi manje sikulebo business akhe ngamaqanda manje sike ku-association ye-poultry ezelapha ezomsekela bamlethela amagama okumkhuthaza basho kunalapho kunyewaya khona amakhosi walapho athi bantwana bala ningadla amaqanda basho balela abantwana babantazana athi ayikhona into leyo makhosi asivumi
mina ngijama namakhosi yazi-ke libihlangothi ningawaphohloza lapha siphume khona abhoyelweko la